Questions?
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I've given notice of the following private notice question addressed to the Honourable Minister of Social Integration, Social Security and National Solidarity, whether in regard to the Basic Retirement Pension, BRP, he will state A, regarding the proposed monthly income support of 10,000 rupees to citizens reaching 60 years as from 1st September 2025 and who will be ineligible for the BRP, the one estimated number of beneficiaries and the sum earmarked. Therefore, 2 criteria taken into consideration to arrive at the threshold of 10,000 rupees, and B, annual estimated expenditure, therefore, till 2030. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Thank you to the Leader of the Oppositions. It definitely seems that I'm in the good book of the Leader of the Opposition for my third PNQ. But I will be, as a responsible minister, I will answer all the questions. With Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, with regard to part A1 of the question, I am informed that within the next 5 years, around 80,655 citizens will reach 60 years and above, out of whom 37,562 citizens will be eligible to benefit from the income support. The formula has been designed to focus on retirees, housewives, unemployed, self-employed, and low-income earners. Around 8.7 billion rupees will be disbursed in respect of income support to eligible beneficiaries over a period of 5 years. The cost will be met from the consolidated fund. For a single person, the monthly income will include his emoluments, income from business or profession, and contributory retirement benefits. But, and this is important, but exclude any lump sum payable on retirement, and will exclude other benefits, including invalidity allowance provided by my ministry. For a married person, the monthly income will include emoluments, income from business or profession, and contributory retirement benefit, but will exclude in the computation the lump sum payable on retirement and other benefits, including invalidity allowance provided by my ministry, as well as the basic invalid pension, as I mentioned, the income support in lieu of the BRP, or the BRP being drawn by the spouse. This would be my answer to the first part of the question. In regard to part 2A2 of the question, that is the criteria taken into consideration to arrive at the threshold of 10,000 rupees, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, with regard to part A2 of the question, that is, I just mentioned, these 3 proposals for income support were put forth to the Interministerial Committee. 5,000 rupees income support, 7,500 rupees income support, and 10,000 rupees income support. And the financial advisor, I must stress, has recommended the amount of 7,500 rupees. However, government, having heard the people, having heard the difficulties surfaced through the recent weeks, have decided to provide the sum of 10,000 rupees as income support. the eligibility threshold is the same as the existing threshold for the payment of the equal chance allowance of the previous government. That is, the monthly income of the couple should not exceed 20,000 rupees. For a person who is single, the threshold has been set at half the threshold, that is 10,000 rupees per month. Had the quantum been more than 10,000 rupees, the coverage would have been less. So we have opted, for the reason set out, for the quantum to be 10,000 rupees as income support. In regard to part B of the question, on the state of the annual estimated expenditure, therefore, till 2030, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, with regard to part B of the question, I am informed that the annual expenditure for income support is as follows. Financial year 25-26, 1.1 billion rupees. Financial year 2026 to 2027, 1 billion rupees. Financial year 2027 to 2028, 2 billion rupees. Financial year 2028-2029, 1.8 billion rupees. Financial year 2029-2030, 2.7 billion rupees, which total 8.7 billion rupees for a period of the next 5 years. This will be my answer to the PNQ of the Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Yes, Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Can I ask the Honourable Minister to give explanation to the House why this measure has been announced nearly 1 month after the presentation of the budget?
As I said, the people have expressed concern, I would say healthy concern, on the measure taken on the change of the age of eligibility of the BRP, Basic Retirement Pension. We have heard the people of our country, and we need to hear and to take into consideration all the voices. And after considering the voices, the concern of the housewives, the concern of the self-employed, the concern of those who don't have any job after 60 years, we have heard all these concerns. And we have decided to bring readjustment measures with the income support. And this explains the reason why we have readjusted. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir.
Yes. If the Minister says that he has heard the concern of the population, and this is for this reason that government has taken 1 month to come with this measure, can the Honourable Minister inform the House of the income threshold for a citizen or a household to be classified under the poverty line in our country?
Yeah. As I said, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, we have based ourselves on the equal chance allowance. The poverty line decided, which is enforced by the SRM, the social register, is around 14,500 rupees. This is the answer I have, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Okay? And poverty, there are different definitions of poverty. I'm giving the threshold that we apply in my ministry to the SRM families. Let me add, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, that the equal chance allowance upon which their government announced in the budget speech 2024-25, I will read for the sake of information of this House and for the people of Mauritius to know that The communique of the MRA on the equal chance allowance reads as follows. As announced in the budget speech 2024-2025, with a view to support the most vulnerable and reduce inequalities, a monthly equal allowance of 2,000 rupees will be paid for a period of 2024 to 2025 to household earning a monthly income not exceeding 20,000 rupees. This is where, in the first instance, the 20,000 rupees come from. The Mauritius Revenue Authority has been entrusted with the responsibility to pay the allowance. This is what exactly we are doing. For a household means a group of persons living under the same roof and who are either connected through blood, marriage, or legal ties and consist of at least one dependent child or a bedridden next of kin. Our criteria is more or less the same and even better. Household earnings for the equal chance allowance of the previous government means the combined monthly income of each member of the household and includes. Okay? No, you wanted an answer. I'm giving you an answer. This is your threshold. This is where the 20,000 come from. You don't want to hear it, but the people need to know.
Honourable Minister, address the chair, give your answer, please. You address the chair and you give your answer. Yes.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I say these are relevant information on what determined the 20,000. The 20,000 comes from the equal chance allowance. I'm reading it. Every Mauritian can refer, if we don't want to take time, every Mauritian can refer to the website of the MRA and the communique 16 September 2024. Secondly, the income threshold is based on the minimal revenue of an employed person, and we have divided the 20,000 rupees in two for a single person. For two persons, it's 20,000. For a single person, we have divided the sum into two. Mr. Deputy Speaker, may I add that the coverage of the income support will cover at least from the 1st September, for all the person who will reach 60, will cover 51.16 retiree from the 1st of September. For the first year, and then this retiree will benefit the 15,000 rupees BRP as it was before the budget.
Honourable Leader Opposition.
That was a top-up allowance, the one you referred earlier, Honourable Minister. How does the Honourable Minister reconcile that the poverty line for an adult, as per Statistics Mauritius, published in February 2025, is 12,378, and the decision of the government to allocate an income support of 10,000 rupees to person reaching the age of 60 years by September 2025. Aren't you creating a category of poor people, Honourable Minister, when you promise to lift out people out of poverty and you have the guts to say, Honourable Minister, that you are fighting for the poor of this country?
I come to my job. I don't think your sense.
I have read the report too, and I must say that the figure stated is not, we cannot take it in isolation with household. That's the first point. The second issue, let me reply. Do you want me to reply?
Look at that chair, you reply the question. Address the chair, address the chair.
The 10,000 rupees, I explained, come from the division into two of the minimum salary, the minimum guaranteed salary. This will be the answer. And secondly, we have done the most we can do with the budgetary constraints that we have. It is them who left the economy in this dire state. We have reacted to the voices of the people, and we have done our most that we can, okay, using our compassion, empathy, and the heart that we have for the people. And so, but I must stress the threshold for the social register, okay, enforced through various governments, puts the line, the threshold line, to 14,500 rupees to pay a person in absolute poverty under the social register.
What is your position?
Mr. Deputy Speaker, the Honourable Minister who claimed to be a gauchist, how,
Put your question.
may I ask him, how it thinks that a housewife in this country who has no other job apart from looking after a family will be able to survive with an income support of 10,000 rupees when we know that all basic necessities in this country mote o galba.
We have the figures here, Mr. Deputy Speaker. So, out of 17,079 persons reaching 60 from the 1st of September, 300 are single. 1,303 live in couple. Housewife and other self-employed will consist of 7,134 eligible persons. The total beneficiary will be 8,737. This would reach 51.16% of the beneficiaries under this system. And this will include the housewife. Let me stress that if two persons in the same house, one who will receive the income support and the other one has applied for another income support, then the income support of one of the person will not be factored in the computation of the 20,000 rupees. This is very, very, very important. And this has been designed based on the figures and especially to cater for housewives, okay, in the family. Secondly, if a person, let's say a person who is 63 years old now, he is receiving the BRP at 15,000 rupees right now, and then the spouse of this person reaches 60 on the 1st of September, then the 15,000 rupees of the person 63 years old won't be computed in the determination of the 20,000 rupees threshold. Maybe this, the leader of the opposition didn't pay attention to this very, very important measure that has been included in this system. Let me also add that in addition to the income support, person benefiting from the basic invalidity pension of 15,000 rupees will continue to benefit this invalidity pension for the next 5 years. Persons benefiting from basic widow's pension will continue to benefit the 15,000 rupees for the next 5 years. This amounts to a total of 3,182 for the coming year, from September. And this totals for persons who will receive BIP, basic invalid pension, to 5,856 for the next 5 years. For those who will be benefiting from basic widow's pension, it would be 6,929. This totals to 12,785. If we add up these figures and we analyze these figures, we will see, and the population must know, and my fellow people in my constituency, in all the 20 constituencies must know. First, 51% of the population will be covered by the income support. Second, if we add the 3,182, it might reach in between, at least we can say safely, more than 60% of the population will be covered, okay? Not in the case of BIP and BWP, they will be covered with 15,000 rupees. So there will be at least 60,000 rupees, 60% of the population who will be covered. Let me add, Mr. Deputy Speaker, for the benefit of the population, that the statistics that we have for the number of employed people registered at our ministry who contribute to the National Pension Fund amounts to 27% average for the next 5 years. The first year, normally, when someone is in between 60 and 61, the percentage that we have worked out is 39.66, that is 40% of the person who will reach 60, they are employed. And it's quite logical and quite normal. The more the years increase, the more the number of employed person will decrease. Okay. So, and it reaches 15% when the group reaches 65 years old. So we can safely let the population know that this government has devised an income support in addition to basic invalid pension, in addition to basic widow's pension, who will safely cover more than 60% of the population.
Okay, you have already, okay, thank you. Honourable John?
Does he not find it unfair that someone who's engaged in hard physical labor, like a mason, a cane cutter, a fisher, a cleaner, who's no longer fit to work full-time at the age of 60, will now have to choose between giving up work to qualify for the 10,000 rupee a month threshold or continuing to work at the cost of their health? And what about part-time workers who are earning between 10,000 and 15,000 and therefore who do not qualify, who earn less than the 15,000 of the BRP that they would earn now before the reform? Should they not be given a chance to retire on their BRP, full BRP? Isn't that effectively penalizing them and forcing them to choose between hardship or poverty?
This methodology that we have come up after the budget, first, as I said, any person suffering from disability will be covered 100%, 15,000 rupees. So if a mason suffers from disability, he will be covered. This is the reality. Secondly,
That's
work, he can't work. Okay, a person cannot work because of his disability. That's one of the reasons a person cannot work, Mr. Speaker, sir. That's one of the reasons. Yes. Second, the income support has been designed for any person who can't work. Any person who can't work will receive 10,000 rupees. With the measures that we presented to the budget, this person wouldn't get anything until he reaches the gradual change in the eligibility of the BRP. So any reasonable person, any person who think, any person who has supported this government and other people in this country now realize that this government has made a big effort to so as to take on board more than 60% of the population. 60% we are taking on board. Now, with regard to if somebody works and will be getting, you know, a mason will be getting 15,000 rupees. Okay, the mason will be it will be optional to the mason. Okay, but then these measures that we have taken will enable all those who are able to work. As I said, 40% of the population are able to work. Okay, in between 60 and 61 at least. Those who want to work can continue to work and work as part-time. And in a sense, this will also relieve their, you know, their health conditions and their living conditions. Okay, so we have catered for it, and every time I must say that all that we have done is based on the disastrous economic situation that they have left the country.
Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yes. Can the Minister inform the House whether the Cabinet decision of the 4th of July, when it made mention to the conditions for somebody to benefit the income support of 10,000 rupees, and I refer to paragraph C and D of the Cabinet decision of 4th of July, where mention is made of monthly income, which will include contributory retirement benefits. Does this mean that the benefits from a private pension plan will also be considered as an income? And in the same vein, will dividend be also considered in the revenue?
The list of all the elements which will be included has been communicated
Honourable Leader of Opposition, what is his question?
to the House,
Send him a reply.
and it includes pension of any retiree.
May I ask the Honourable Minister, he should know that for a person to...
So ask your question.
The question is, isn't that not true? That for someone to earn disability pension, he must qualify up to a certain threshold of disability. A stonemason who suffers from sciatic, who cannot, for example, lift up stones, and who would gladly retire on full BRP at the age of 60, will not earn his disability pension. Is that not true?
That question should have been asked to your partners whom you allied in the last election. But I have replied to these questions, to various questions on this issue in this House, and I'm pleased to announce today that I will be making a statement as a minister on this particular issue. I know as a minister how difficult the assessment, the medical board is. Every MP here, all of us get this on Wednesdays, how it is difficult. And this government, even with the budgetary constraint, we do have a heart. And we will address this issue because we know that any person reaching 60 will benefit from invalidity pension. So the criteria and the assessment of determining the invalidity criteria will be taken on board. I will address this in the statement in this House today itself.
Okay, last question.
Again, Mr. Two last questions I have. Again, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir.
You got only 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's a national issue. It's a national issue.
Yes, you got
Great
only 3
importance,
minutes.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Again, how does the minister reconcile the fact that for a person to be eligible for that income support, his revenue should be less than 10,000 when we know that the minimum salary in this country is 17,100 rupees?
I have already replied to this question. It's the same criteria that they used in determining the allowance that I read in the House. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I must, when I hear the leader of the opposition, when I hear the opposition in this debate on pension, okay, I hear that the opposition say, out of your former minister, that this government could have afforded, okay, an increase in the quantum of income support. This is what you are just implying. We even hear a former minister of finance saying that la caisse jamais vide. This, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, goes to show the level of irresponsibility of those who are making decisions on behalf of the Republic over the last 10 years. If la caisse jamais vide, how come nearly 1 billion rupees owed, it's still owed for COVID-19 vaccine? If la caisse vide, how come Mauritius risked suspension from SADC because they did not pay our membership fee of 800 million rupees? If la caisse jamais vide, how come 500 million rupees overtime of employees of the health sector, mainly nurses and doctors, remained unpaid for years? If la caisse was jamais vide, how come the previous government cooked the books and hide the harsh reality for the population? This is the question. These are the issues that we must address to the population.
Okay, Honourable Minister, time is over yet. Can you finish your answer, please?
I'll just conclude. Let me say it. The income support will benefit more than 60% of person eligible, if depending how we add those with disability and basic widow's pension, it can be higher. Secondly, it will cost 8.7 billion rupees, and this government has at heart our people, our elderly. Okay, it is this government, and the parties who are in this government, we are the founder of the welfare state, not them.
Time is over.